On the fourth day of Venom on the shelf, Rob gave to me time-traveling Santa, disgracing a classic, more neglectful parents, and a gruesome Jason murdering spree. Hello and welcome to the third annual Venom on the Shelf, celebrating the 12 days of Christmas. Well, as you all know, my favourite Christmas movie of all time is, well, Santa's Sleigh, but a close second is The Santa Claus. And last year we took a look at the pretty decent sequel. Can good things come in threes?
Like what?
Despite being a financial success, this is often regarded as the bad one. The one that killed the trilogy, and a part 4 can never happen. It's now been 12 years since Scott Calvin, again played by Tim Allen, became Santa Claus, but the stress is starting to get to him. His new wife, again played by Elizabeth Mitchell, rarely sees her family as she's always at the North Pole. Why is she always at the North Pole? The last film did this as well. The first movie literally shows that he's allowed to go home and stay there until Thanksgiving, and then he has to do all the Santa crap at the North Pole. So why in these last two films is it a problem for her to just leave? Leave and come back at Thanksgiving?
No need to be nippy.
But she's about to leave, so Scott decides to invite her parents there for Christmas and try to maintain the facade that it isn't really the North Pole, all whilst his wife is about to give birth to the newborn baby. But the stress really gets to Scott while Jack Frost, played by Martin Short, is on the case to try to do his best to dethrone him and take his place as Saint Nick himself. How bad can it be?
We had no idea.
Okay, I mean, the opening titles immediately look amazing. Weirdly though, the kids at the North Pole only learn Christmas-related problems.
Anyone?
Jeez, how boring must that be?
If a reindeer leaves Ellsberg flying west at 20 miles per hour, and another reindeer flies east traveling at 50 miles per hour, how many hours does it take for them to be 210 miles apart?
Yes, miss, the fucking reindeer. Can we learn something else now? But Jesus, Mrs. Claus is in labour and is rushed around where she nearly dies. But it turns out to be a false alarm. Okay, that's pretty funny. But we still have that annoying Even Stevens kid in it, who clearly looks a lot older despite the fact that the elves don't age. How do they explain that one? But where is Bernard? He wasn't available for filming, so he's not in this one.
Alright.
But hey, I'll let anything go for this throwback.
It's people that I need. You know, family.
Yes, he's still got it. More power.
Jack, you are hereby charged with 273 counts of attempted upstaging of Santa Claus. You froze a volcano in Hawaii, you made it snow in the Amazon, and you frosted Mexico, sending all of the geese north for the winter.
And you froze over hell by making me enjoy Beauty and the Beast 2017. But Jack Frost is literally Mr. Freeze. There is no two ways around it. I would have paid good money to see them cast Arnold instead. But despite all of the crimes they have just listed, Jack gets given another chance. What could possibly go wrong? I must admit though, the CGI deer does look really awesome. The green screen, not so much. But hey, let's continue to rip off the Mary Poppins bag. Yeah, I know they did it in the original, but shut up, I'm running out of nitpicks. It's been a long year. We even get to see Scott's ex-wife, still not played by the real actress, and Neil, again played by Judge Reinhold. But they are entirely pointless in this film. They do nothing. They are just here for the cast roll call. And Neil literally emotionally blackmails Scott into taking them to the North Pole.
Charlie's been to the pole. Your new baby's being born at the pole. Lucy's a member of this family too, Scott. And if you harshly exclude her from this formative experience, you could scar her for life.
Why not just tell everyone who he is while you're at it? And also, are you telling me that in 12 years they've never been the least bit curious and gone to the North Pole? Also, everyone in this movie is a complete idiot. Jack finds out there's an escape clause, a way for Scott to back out of being Santa. And he makes Curtis tell him, but in the most obviously forced way imaginable.
That's just what I'd say. What? If I didn't know anything. Don't be embarrassed. Makes perfect sense. Only the big guy would really know the important stuff.
For your information, I'm now elf number 1.
Ooh.
And I know all there is to know about the Hall of Snow Globes.
Well, everybody knows about the Hall of Snow Globes. That's not special. Not special. Not special. It's
It's the most top secret, hush, hush, amazing place in the world. It's where every Santa throughout history has kept his own personal snow globe. Unless you know what it has to do with the escape clause, which clearly you don't.
He fell for that reverse psychology? He's supposed to be the head elf. And he's the dumbest one there. He just completely violated the elf code in a nanosecond. Bernard would have fallen for it. I just don't understand why she can't just visit her damn parents, even if Scott doesn't go with her.
We gotta get to the airport. Kind of a hurry, so I suggest we just get your bags and pop them in the car.
Well, I'm almost packed.
Great.
Just throw some of my underwear in a bag. It's not like we're going to the North Pole.
Who talks this way? And this argument is so annoying.
Remember when we went to Yosemite?
Oh, here we go. Yosemite again.
It was freezing and there were bears.
How would you know? You never left the lodge.
I didn't leave the lodge because it was freezing.
And there were bears?
Yes, and it was freezing,
And
darling.
it was freezing weather?
Yes, it was in the freezing weather.
Let me see if I understand this. You did not enjoy the trip to Yosemite?
You heard me.
Yeah, I heard you.
Shut up! So basically, they have to trick the in-laws into believing that they're actually in Canada. And I must admit, this is hilarious. Look at all these ridiculous signs. They even barely question why no adults seem to live there. And then Jack even manages to manipulate Mrs. Claus in a heartbeat, guilt-tripping her into realizing that Scott is a terrible husband. Why are you all such morons?
I'm actually here! What a wonderful surprise! I didn't know you were coming. Uncle Scott brought me.
He's not your uncle. He's your mum's ex-husband. That's just weird. It is really funny, though, to see Neil get super excited at being there.
You guys know that my mom and dad can't know that we're at Santa's workshop at the North Pole, right?
Who do they think we are?
Welcome to Canada!
Okay, the comedy here still holds up.
Sweetheart, I am just so happy to see you, darling.
I'm so happy to see you too, Mom.
And I'm sure you have a perfectly good reason for shutting us out of your life.
The script doesn't.
The hollow snow globes, perhaps?
And pointlessly talking to myself for exposition. But hey, this Red Deer product placement is fucking hilarious.
Who are you? You don't particularly resemble one of the Red Man's minions. What's the deal?
I'm Lucy. Scott's my uncle.
No, he isn't!
I'm Frost. Jack Frost.
Who?
Jack Frost. You know, the Jack Frost?
Michael Keaton?
Well, you gotta know about me. I'm a legendary figure, too, with enormous power in my own right.
Okay, chill.
I invented chill.
Chill. What's the deal with them?
Have you ever been to Canada?
No, it's too far. We did go to Rochester, New York once, though, to visit her sister.
Very lovely place, but it's not Canada, is it?
No.
Well, this is what Canadians look like.
Why do so many people hate this film again?
Well, the kids are not going to enjoy their toys this year. This stuff should have been in stores weeks ago, you know.
Oh, no worries. We have a unique distribution system up here.
Well, in order to distribute this stuff, you're going to have to freeze time.
Probably because of dialogue like that. Who talks this way? So as Jack starts to sabotage things around the North Pole, this elf clearly walks past and sees him doing it. His plan is entirely screwed. Why doesn't this little shithead report it? He never does. Nope, not once.
We have a small paperwork problem.
And a witness puts you, Jack, at the scene of the crime, completely sabotaging it on purpose. You're under arrest and you're fired. How does he get away with this? They literally say earlier that he's a criminal who can't be trusted, and then all these weird and suspicious things begin to happen, and they not once even consider the possibility that it could be him. He even assaults an elf in front of everybody and nobody does anything.
Minty.
Doesn't it make you feel fresh?
Oh, yes, it does.
Is Jack trying to bone Scott's mother-in-law?
Oh my, I love your hair.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
I love yours.
Really?
I've never seen anything like that.
You're so adorable. You divine little kitten, you. And I bet you sing too.
No. No.
Go on, I bet you can sing.
Maybe.
I knew it. Sing something for me.
What would you like to hear?
How about chestnuts roasting on an open fire?
Jack Frost living at your nose.
A fire even breaks out and his father-in-law is somehow the first one to act. How the hell would that ever happen?
What's wrong with you people? We're an inch away from Armageddon. I'll get a mop.
Who cares? He's hilarious.
Nothing works in this joint.
If you think this is something, you should see the delivery room.
The problem? I want to see the delivery room.
Why does Scott not question the fact that Jack knows something happened in the delivery room and didn't stop it? Is everyone in this movie a moron?
This is the hospital for the entire toy factory.
How about that, Sil? Our grandchild is being born in the broom closet of a Canadian toy factory. Sweetheart, you can be honest with us. Don't be afraid. Are you being held here against your will?
You know what? I don't even care. Alright, his father-in-law is probably the best part of this movie. He is hilarious. And Scott having a complete mental breakdown is acted really well. He's nearly crying and you really do feel for him. But yeah, they don't even put the fire out on his ass until after he's finished his emotional speech. That was nice of them.
That's how the men in red get things done. All right, we got a schedule to keep. Let's get back to work, everybody. Get that conveyor up. Let's get...
If they can freeze time, how are they behind on schedule?
Uncle Scott, you know what I've been dying to see?
No.
The first movie? And of course, Scott's niece wants to see the Hall of Snow Globes directly in front of Jack. What are the odds?
Don't watch what I'm doing because this is a very secret code.
Oh, come on, Uncle Scott.
It is.
So she continues looking right at him doing it.
It's me.
Yeah.
Hugging a snowman. Oh, and he turns pink.
Yes, we can see that. Stop commentating everything you see. It is quite badass though when they exit and Jack's on the other side. But how does he get back out? Does he literally wait patiently for someone else to come back in? Because that could take months. But who cares? He somehow escapes and gets down to business. Jesus Christ, this is dark!
What did you do?
I froze them.
Stop narrating everything you do!
Now, am I gonna have to do the same thing to you? Or are you gonna get into that closet and stay there without saying a word?
Why doesn't he freeze her? This makes no sense. Why would he freeze them but not her? You could have had a much darker moment there, movie. Good job. You just screwed that up too. He even sabotages Scott's tree. But how the hell does nobody spot this? Are you all blind and stupid? But you do really feel for Mrs. Claus as she feels like she's made a mistake and has wasted her time coming here. It's actually a really heartfelt message.
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, maybe if you weren't working all the time, you might know.
Well, maybe you just don't understand the pressure I'm under.
Well, maybe it's not as bad as being ripped away from your family and told you can't see them anymore.
Dad.
Well, maybe that's why I invited you up here, Bud. So Carol could be surrounded by her family for love and support, while I try to do things you can't even imagine.
Until they literally spell out the motivation. Stop that! Your audience aren't dumbasses! And Jack actually tricks Scott to hold the magic snow globe and specifically wish that he had never become Santa to begin with.
So, you wish you'd never become Santa at all?
I wish I'd never become Santa.
At all?
At all. At all. Yeah, at all. I wished I'd never been Santa at all. Happy?
How the hell would he ever fall for that precise ruling, especially considering he knows about the escape clause? Then once Jack becomes Santa, we return to the present. Why would we return to the present? Shouldn't we have stayed in the past? Well, I'm confused. But then the movie just becomes a rip-off of It's a Wonderful Life or Click. Scott realizes what his life would have been like if he had never become Santa. It's exactly the same! However, Jack became Santa and actually went public with it, turning the North Pole into a tourist attraction, which is actually a really cool idea. Before Scott finds Neil, who gives him a piece of his mind.
Maybe you don't really know because you were never around. It shouldn't be any news to you, Scott. You were never a father to Charlie. You put all the pressure on me, and guess what? He didn't want me to be his father. which messed things up pretty good between me and Lara. You want me to go on, Scott?
This is a fun film.
This junk is not what Christmas is about.
Hey, you're the one who gave it all up.
Because you tricked me.
Because you're an idiot. And despite not being close in this universe, Scott asks his niece for help, and you really feel for him as he's trapped and helpless. Before Santa starts singing. This is ridiculous. But in a slightly funny way. But seeing Scott fight him on stage with a candy cane is actually hilarious. And you really feel for his niece as she walks off on her own to try to find the right snow globe. You are begging for her to pull this off and get out of there okay. Also, how come Jack didn't reprogram the vending machine to a different code in this universe? Surely he would know Scott would be back for revenge. Anyway, Scott recorded Jack's voice earlier and manages to go back in time, which is kind of badass.
You're never gonna get me to say,
I wish I'd never been Santa at all.
Now who said that? Rudolph? Rudolph's mama?
And we finally get a decent flashback to the original film's footage. I wish we had more of this, interacting with them all. Somehow young Scott doesn't hear them, and how come earlier his past self didn't even come out the door? They were fighting outside for ages, whereas now he's right out there. And puts on the jacket on his own roof instead of the neighbours like in the original movie. Sorry director, I remember the first film. And then Scott reveals his identity to the in-laws. What, he hated Jack for doing that, now he's telling everyone. And they accept it so fucking quickly, it's unreal. But I'm so confused, do they even remember the time travel? They seem to remember the first time, but when they get back to present day, once again with Scott as Santa, he just rushes off and ignores Jack and it's never acknowledged again. Do they remember or not? And his niece even literally defeats Jack with love. One of the most annoying cliches ever.
what's happening to me?
I'm warming your heart.
Stop narrating everything! Who cares? The father-in-law is amazing. Then she's reunited with her parents. It's really not that emotional. They weren't even gone that long. Hardly in the film, completely pointless. Calm down. But I do love the sheer amount of baby puns here.
Oh, Scott, it's time.
Oh, about 10 o'clock.
Oh, it's time to deliver the package.
Oh, midnight as usual.
Oh, it's time to deliver the package.
And just when you expect a cliffhanger for her going into labour, you're reminded that this is told in flashback mode and the baby is already born. And then we get loads of bloopers in the closing credits, and man, Tim Allen seems like he would have been loads of fun to film with. And that was the Santa Claus 3. I actually think it's a lot better than people give it credit for. I mean, yeah, it's the least good one, but it's still not bad. The humour is hilarious and it has the same Christmas spirit. My only issue really is that it lacks some of the charm. The first two films had a huge narrative to follow. This one, he has his in-laws over for Christmas. It does its job and it's handled fine, but it's just a huge step down. That being said, it's enjoyable and entertaining as hell. Jack Frost is a great villain and I wish they did more with the time travel stuff, but you know what? I'd call this a decent end to a pretty solid trilogy. And that was the Santa Claus 3. Join me tomorrow for a movie that has tormented me my entire life. Even as a kid. I still hear the screams.